very excited today to show you guys something super fucking cool. And I'm also here with Terry. I don't know why I'm trying to sing. Ooh. What's up, Terry?
What's up?
Full disclosure. Terry, you have to agree. I really strong armed you.
To the mystery pinball theater. Buenos días a
I was
todos.
hoping to do some kind of
Bienvenido a la
of some sort
transmisión.
for the release.
Esperamos que disfrutes tu estancia aquí.
Oh, we're getting rated. Oh, pirate! Welcome in. You're here just in time. I'm here with this guy, Terry. Oh my God. Okay, this is getting warm in here. I'm gonna take this off.
Getting serious.
What the hell? Is that Terry Red? Yes, it is Terry. Hey. I have the ability to drop some names and bring some rock stars on. All right, guys? Come on. Who's your boy? Terry's been here a bunch. Oh. Thank you, Grammy. All right. Proper introductions. Welcome to Mystery Pinball Theater, because this is going on the YouTubes. Welcome to Mystery Pinball Theater. My name is Manu. I am really excited to show a preview of this game. If you're watching now, this is like December, 17th, 2024. The game is not out yet. Terry, you've even got people in your comments right now saying, I can't seem to download it.
I know. I've posted numerous videos and numerous posts on various locations and all that, and every single one of them I say, coming out later this month. I don't put a specific date yet because I don't know for sure, but it's definitely coming out. The intention is sometime before Christmas. I don't want to say the exact date yet because I want to make sure everything's ready to go, and then I will absolutely drop some kind of video trailer announcement or available now type trailer on my YouTube channel when that date happens. So when it's actually up and available, then boom, that video will be on my channel, and then people can see that and know for sure.
Running out of days, Red. That's what Borg
I
says.
know.
All right, let us not bury the lead for a little bit. Terry, I brought out all the stuff. I brought out the hands cam.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
You got that fire button. Yeah, I haven't seen the RGB fire button in action on this table yet, so I'm hoping it works right because I don't have one. So because the colors change at different points, and so it'd be interesting for me to see it. But yeah,
it works. It works. My I think my light is dim, but it still works. I've neglected my V pin. Oh my God! I just beat up on it. I brought out all the stuff. Let's see. So I'm here with Terry Red, who this is basically Terry's game now. Like, you have done so incredibly much with the platform of Future Pinball and this game in particular. Tell us a little bit about that journey.
well, simply put, this started with Rom's. For those who don't know who Rom is, he's a guy who used to do a lot of Future Pinball tables many years ago, like probably 10 plus years ago. And actually, a lot of the tables you see on Visual Pinball were conversions from tables he made, like whether it be recreations like Avatar or Tron Legacy or whatever. He also did original tables, and those tables were kind of remixes of other tables he made. So, as an example, the Masters of the Universe was kind of like a
Hype train
remix
has ended.
Tron
Thank you for running
Legacy.
that train on me. Cigarette, anyone?
Thank you for the hype
Or,
train. Go ahead, Terry.
he's done other ones like RoboCop, which is kind of like a mix of Transformers and Avatar. So I started with his classic table that's been around for 10 plus 11 plus years. I started with that, and basically that was the base starting point because the original table was fairly simple. Like it was. I mean, it was really simple. It was you had four multi balls and you hit one shot over and over to start a multi ball, and then that was it. And there was no real other. There was no progression, no features, no nothing. It was. Most of his tables were like that. They were great builds, great layouts, but they were pretty bare bones for the actual gameplay, the modes, or standardized pinball features that a lot of games have. So I started with the last version that he released. I didn't even use my own mods that I did prior to that table, and I basically more or less, for lack of a better word, gutted it because I was going to be redoing everything anyway. So all the code is all new, completely new lighting. The layout has been, contrary to what you may think, it's actually highly modified from the original. Like if you were to load both tables in side by side, you would see that a lot of stuff was changed around dramatically. If you used the old artwork from the old table, because it's all been redone for this new game, none of it would line up perfectly, because once I updated the table for newer physics, for physics, well, that changes everything. You take an old Future Pinball table that was built for old Future Pinball physics, and you update it with modern physics, which is, basically similar and fuzzy type techniques applied to Future Pinball. That's the bottom line of what that is.
Crazy.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Like, I'm just gonna say it right now. It's really good. So you have to rebuild the table because it just won't flow. It won't work right. So almost the entire table had to be rebuilt at some point. And I just went from there because way back then was a very different time, in terms of how lighting was done on a table. There was no controlled because this is not a ROM-based table. There's no ROMs involved. So everything has to be coded yourself, So there was no controlled GI, there was no real major light shows. There was no additional modes or features. There was no bonus multipliers, end of ball bonus. There was no skill shots. There was no combos. There was no mystery or any other extras on top of that. It had none of that stuff. So basically, for all intents and purposes, I'm more or less started over from scratch as far as the game. The only thing I kept as far as the original game, as far as the gameplay and all that,
was the ball.
It was not even that.
The ball's not even the same.
Yeah, it was the 4 multi-ball modes. They're still there, but even that, the gameplay is very different. It's hard to explain until you play it because it is different. And then it just went from there. To give you an idea, the original table was like 70 megabytes, and this new table is 846 megabytes. I think the largest visual pinball, and that's the table file. That's not hub files. That's just the table file. I think like the biggest VP table file with extra virtual reality stuff thrown on there is like around 400 some odd 450-ish megs, maybe, or give or take, and this table, if I took away all the VR stuff, it would be around that as well. But once you added all the VR stuff on there, geez, which you can't even see when the cabinet mode, but it's there.
Yeah, it's there. Trust me. If I, boom,
it's
VR
huge,
mode, minimal, VR mode green. It has all the VR modes. I don't have them. I have them turned off, as you can see. But because I can't do that with you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, Terry Red. Follow Terry Red on, well, the man posts everywhere. If you subscribe to his YouTube channel now, you will get a free car from MPT3K. Don't believe me? Look under your chair. With a slam and a tilt, the tower was built. I'm out, dog.
Don't do that, Pinbot. Do not do that.
He didn't say a real car. It could be a dinky car.
Oh, okay. There
you go. So the original table had the 4 multi-ball modes. This one now has 16 modes now, and the obviously the 4 multi-ball modes, but those are much more expanded. But then all the modes on here I tried to make them like very different. You know what I mean? Like something different on each one where I could. Like some of them may have some similarities, but I wanted it to be something significantly different on each of them. So the main playfield has 8 of those main modes, including the multi-ball. But then in the He-Man Kicker under Manny modes, you have 8 more modes, kind of like Mania modes on Sonic Pinball Mania, where you go in there and then you get to choose from a bunch of modes to play. And so the objective of this game is to basically collect all the 80s toys, basically. So that would be your action figures, your play sets, and your vehicles. How you do that is you complete a mode, you get a toy, but there's also extra shots in there that are dedicated for collecting an action figure or a play set or a vehicle. And And there's a few other things, like if you hit the ball saver enough times, you'll get a Ram Man toy, for example. If you hit the bumpers enough times, you'll get a Battle Cat toy, as an example.
You've also got, there's something that comes up here that pops up.
As far as the toys on there, yeah. So that's the original Castle toy. That's one of the few things from the original table that is basically almost the same in terms of the original model. Like every model that's on here, with the exception of a few of them that were from the original table, are all brand new, very high detailed models.
That's my man
All
right there, Orco.
most of them are
That's not
scanned.
Orco. Yeah.
Most of them are scanned from the original toy line, like the actual toy from the 80s. And a lot of them didn't have any textures or anything. So I had to paint a lot of them myself, especially the ones in the VR room. You don't obviously see those here. But yeah, so a lot more detail is in this game compared to the older table, and all the toys, which you'll see once you start playing. Well, the original one, they weren't animated. They may rotate left and right on the old table, but on this one, all the new toys are now fully animated.
Oh,
as in, like,
dude, the best is when this guy does a wheelie.
yeah. So the original,
badass.
the original had a similar one there, but this is an all new one now. You've got the whole left ramp is all changed up now with the Snake Mountain Gate and the bridge. That's all.
Oh yeah, the
new.
bridge. The bridge is freaking new.
Yeah,
The bridge is cool, dude.
The Wolf's Gate, for those who know the
Oh
series.
yeah.
And of course you've got Skeletor's Roton. That's all brand new. Some of that I had to completely remodel. And you've got He-Man at the kicker still, but now it's a brand new model, and everything is fully animated now. His arms independently animate, his head animates, the whole torso, everything rotates as one thing. And it all completely moves like the toy would, and very complex animations. That's one of those things that you don't think much of while you're playing, but there was no function to make that happen. Like, you can make toys rotate in Visual Pinball and Future Pinball, but because of the way those arms are on an angle, they rotate on an angle, so you can't use those normal kind of functions. They don't translate the way I needed them to. So I had to create brand new code to make all that happen, and to allow it so that if it's in the middle of if it's in the middle of like one animation or whatever like that, and another one kicks in, it wouldn't just instantly jump and start, like it would be all smooth. It'd all be, like the way it should look, nice and seamless, all that. So that was very complex to figure that out, to get that working. But then when you see it, it's so natural, like, like it's like, oh yeah, that's the way it should look if that toy was alive. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like other tables where I had a complex character from a video game that has a rigged skeleton and a bunch of animations and all that. None of that. I couldn't use any of that. So that all had to be done manually, new code and new manual animations that are all dynamic, so they can change up on the fly, and it just all works. And it's very technical, but it looks cool. It's the bottom. All that shit I just said, it looks cool. That's what it means.
Are you in chat, Terry? You're in chat, right?
Well, I've got it over here. Yeah.
Okay, make sure you're reading chat because you got in a lot of questions. But what I do want to say, is, what's up, Isaiah? What I do want to say, and Isaiah and I actually flipped this a while ago. I want to say, it's a huge deal for someone to say, everybody wait until it's done. And Terry, you like mastered that. You like, because I remember when was I beta testing? Like 6 months ago.
Oh, it was a while ago. It's been a while. I can't remember exactly when, but.
And I got to tell you this: like, Isaiah was over, and we fired this up, and we were playing the shit out of this. We were like going, and this was before you had the different factions fighting each other. We were just like, alternating players.
Yeah.
Now
before
you
multiplayer,
have
probably. Yeah.
different factions. Let's get into this thing. So. And there's so much in this stupid game. There's so much. You can try and collect all the stuff. You're not gonna.
But we got rewards for that if you do well.
Can you think of any other property for kids that had character names like Fisto, Ram Man? Seriously, come on, man. Extender, Master of Extension. This is getting ridiculous.
I wasn't even gonna mention the questionable names of some of these characters in He-Man, but
Oh, well, on the newer Netflix series that Kevin Smith made, yeah, he trust me, he made use of those names in ways that adults would absolutely get amused by.
all right, I'm gonna go. Look, I'm gonna go straight down the row. I'm gonna go one
Right?
player. I'm gonna go straight. We're gonna be good, right? We're gonna be good. We're gonna
Yeah.
choose He-Man, right?
All right.
We're gonna be good. But I'm gonna play like a 3-player game later on to show you guys how the playfield changes, how the characters change. Okay? All right.
So yeah, so basically, as Manny was just mentioning, that yeah, you can choose from the 3 main factions, heroes, villains, and the evil horde. And by changing a faction, like it changes per player on every ball. It changes the way the playfield looks. It changes the auto plunger. It'll change what characters you were allowed to pick for your character, and then all that would change up on the pup display on the playfield. Just everything. It just makes it way more fun for like a multiplayer game specifically. And that's one thing I was very happy about, was getting multiplayer working on this, because I had the game mostly done, and I was like, yeah, this is a pretty damn complex game to add multiplayer, and I got rid of the normal pinball framework stuff with how most games do multiplayer, and yeah, but it worked out great. I'm very glad I took the extra time to do that.
How uncomfortable is it for a little kid to be watching a nearly naked muscle-bound man talking about people touching his body? What about this? What about the She-Ra mode? That scared me.
Yeah.
Initially.
Oh no, the Tila mode. Tila's training.
Tila. The Tila
Yeah.
mode. All right, so
Yeah.
you guys, brand new. I'm saying brand new pup pack. This pup pack didn't exist when we were beta testing it. This is amazing. This is Jersey Jack level right here. All your statuses are here. Terry. When Terry has me beta test, he's probably like, "Oh God, what is he gonna ask for now?" And so I was saying,
I'm at the point where I know what he's going to ask for the most part. So this one I was a little more ready for, because I was like, hey, I got your ball. It tells you what ball it is on the new, how many balls you got left on the new ball. I got, on the attract mode, what your last scorer is. But then you're like, well, yeah, but this thing, we got to get collectibles. I want to know what collectibles I got. Like, oh, goddamn. Okay, fine. I thought I was covered. I was pretty proud of stuff in there. And I was like, damn it, he found something new. I had to get in there.
I wasn't even bro. And you guys will see. I'll play. I promise I'll play. Once I collect the first thing, what the game does takes you back to when you were a child watching television. Oh, yeah. And also there's PSAs at the end of this. Let's go. All right, I want to let's go. Terry, feel free to walk us through.
This table has a lot of custom settings you can do in the table script at the top, like you can on most tables on Future Pinball or Visual Pinball. So if there's certain things you want changed for your own liking, there's a ton of them. There's like 2.5 pages worth, which is way bigger than anything I've done before. So, for example, okay, like he just started this mode, Hordak is Horrible. So the idea with this mode is that it's a timed mode. And as you go throughout the mode, he's going to regularly drain your score, and that's when it flashes red. So it will reduce your score a little bit. If you hit any of the shots that are lit red, that will also drain your score. So the idea is that, because it changes up, it's not always the same. You got to not just make the shot when it's lit, but avoid the red ones as well. So it's trickier than you think. So the normal, regular jackpot shots are as they are. On the left side, you'll notice the third flipper from the original game pops up. It's now a pop-up toy. It's hidden inside the playfield now. And to get that jackpot, you have to hit it about 5 times. And then all the other ones, you hit it only once. Now, one of the other new features...
Give me.
Okay, there you go. You got the Ram Man Ball Saver, or Ram It, on the bottom there. So basically, that's your ball saver. So unlike a typical game where they pop the ball out to the plunger lane and then put it back in the game, I figured on this one, like, let's do it a little bit different and have Ram Man at the bottom and then just have him ram the ball back into the game instantly. You're not waiting. You're not having to do anything. It's just always putting it right back right away. So that's a new feature for the game as well. There you go. You got a ball locked. So one of the other things is if you look on the bottom of the apron, there's 4 lights with different features that if they're lit up, that means you can use that feature. So when the ball's in play like he's got it right now, if you've unlocked the 3 main shots, the 2 ramps, and the He-Man kicker, then you can toggle what mode is actively lit. And that's what the orange light on the apron is indicating. So if he hits his action button or his plunger button, then it will toggle whatever shots are unlocked. And then you can choose what mode you want to progress to start. So, for example, if you look where He-Man is, it shows 3 small red circles. So every single mode has its own progression of 3 shots. So it'll show you that based on the color of the mode insert that you have lit up and how many there are. So right now, if he does one more, then he'll get He-Man Multiball because it's flashing in sequence. Almost. And for example, oh, there he goes. He started her up, and now we got He-Man Multiball. Now, I don't know if I can't hear you or the game right now, Manu, but I can still see you just fine. But I don't know. I mean,
I'm not talking at all.
Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. That's why. Okay.
Shoot.
That's why. Okay.
I'm
I didn't realize
bro.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was doing that or not, but yeah.
I got one more right here.
So the idea with all the multi-balls is you start the multi-balls, you have your normal jackpots, which are the main shots. But once you get those shots, all 4 of them, I'll see if he is able to...
Damn it!
Oh, almost. So the idea is that if you do all the shots, it'll then go to phase 2, which is your super jackpot. At that point, if you only have, like if you drain to 1 ball, once the second phase is in play, then the mode will still continue. It won't stop. Up to that point, you have to do like a normal multi-ball. You have to keep more than 1 ball in play. But when you're in the second phase, the super jackpot phase, then the Skeletor, the Skeletor bank target will lower down, and then you have to get whatever remaining balls are left over in the Skeletor kicker. So what that means is you have a limited number of super jackpots you can get. But the idea is you want to clear the mode. You're not just trying to get as many points as you can. You're trying to actually clear the mode so that then you get the collectible, and then that mode is cleared. Just like all the other modes, you want to have them all cleared. If you clear every single mode, then you can complete the game. But every multi-ball, there is a limit to how many super jackpots you can get. So you don't have to keep every ball, you know, when you get to the super jackpot to complete the mode, but you'll get more super jackpots if you have more balls. So,
I'm about to get a vehicle. Ready? I'm about to get a vehicle. You guys see that? There's the three. The biggest thing, if you take away nothing from the stream, the action button or whatever button you define as the action button is very important.
Very
right now,
important.
I have a vehicle ready. See that? If I click the button, then that means there's 1 shot to Ripper. I got 3 more. 1, 2, 3 more.
Yep.
This is 3 more to Horde, but vehicle is ready. If I hit vehicle, my timing is off now. You know you could drop catch out of that sucker, did you?
Or you might get a figure.
I got a figure or vehicle ready. Bounce over. I want my vehicle. I got a figure.
Got a figure. There you go. Same idea. So
that's
each of those
right there.
Oh yes, you gotta love that. The He-Man
from Mattel.
Chant. That's from the original '80s toy commercial. You know, I had to have that in there.
Dude, that hit me so hard the first time I saw it. I went, "Oh shit!"
and even after 500 times of hearing that shit never gets old.
Gets old.
Ever gets old. I've heard it probably thousands of times, and it still never gets old. You know, but there you go.
Yes.
So those are just the normal collectible shots. So you get to do those over and over again. There's a set amount of random ones you can get on each of those shots. But with every other mode, when you complete the mode, then you'll also get a collectible from completing that mode. But for those 3 shots, it's a random one, depending on how many are left and available. And if you look on the pup display, you can see on the top left, that shows your action figures, vehicles, and play sets on there, and the actual total there is that you can get for the whole game. So that way, you know what your progression is on the total on the bottom left there. So that way, you don't have to keep guessing, and you're like, oh, okay, well, now I have an idea of what my progression is.
46 though, guys. 46. There's a lot to collect.
16 of those are modes. One is from Ram Man Ball Saver, one is from the bumpers, and then the rest are from those 3 collectible shots.
I think I'm gonna start Skeletor.
No, you might. All right, you gotta lock one more.
I gotta lock one more. Okay, I thought I was being cocky. Okay, 3 drop targets, a la Attack from Mars. No gimmies, so you have to hit the target. There's no
Now the other thing that is new on here is bonus multipliers, which he's on. Oh, we got She-Ra slingshot, so that's one of the new modes. So to start that mode, you basically just hit the slingshots a bunch of times until the mode starts. And this is straightforward. You just hit all the jackpots, and then you'll hit it up into Skeletor when you're done. So there you saw the bumper popped up when the mode started, and then he cleared the jackpot by hitting it 5 times in the bumpers, and then it pops down and gets out of your way. But see, you could have saved that Manu with...
I know, I'm saving Orco for a minute. I'm saving Orco.
Okay.
I got 5 Orcos. I don't need to save them. There's so much in here, Terry.
And then there you go. You saw the bonus multiplier added at the end. So all the different things you do throughout the table, you hit the He-Man kicker targets or the kicker. If you hit the Skeletor targets, if you hit the Ripper ramp and the Ripper toy goes up and down. If you hit the Zor shot on the left, and then the Zor Falcon flies around, or
Zor's
the bumpers.
Zor's ready.
Or if you hit the slings. All those things are things that add to your bonus at the end, and they get multiplied by your bonus multiplier.
Oh, Terry, I forgot that this lane here changes.
Yes. The upper left loop, the upper right loop, and the target on the right ramp there. It's right near the top there. That yellow stand-up target. Yep.
Yeah.
So all 3 of those are your toggle inserts. So basically, if you hit any of those, they will toggle only that one shot to the next mode. So the idea is that if you want to do only one mode toggle and not change the other ones because you have locked in progression going on with those, then you could do that if you want, or it's there just for the sake of, randomizing the game and kind of keeping you on your toes a little bit. However, if you start any single shot, and then progress to the next step on that mode, then those toggle inserts will stay solid. So the idea is that well, okay, I want to progress on this mode. I don't want that insert to keep toggling it over and over again.
Right.
But if you use the toggle modes feature with the action button or the plunger, that forcibly toggles all 3 shots to the next mode that's lit, and then those toggle inserts reset and they'll be active again. So the idea of all that is it gives you the option to toggle things by a shot if you want without using a button, or you could have it just randomize things to keep you on your toes a little bit. So there you go. You got Mechanic Mystery ready. So the idea of that is if you hit the left orbit 5 times or the upper right loop 5 times, and it comes down to the bottom right where you can see Mechanic, he's the guy with the long neck, then the He-Man kicker will light up for Mechanic Mystery. And that's another new feature as well. And also a big change to this layout, that left ramp and the pop-up castle toy, that's moved back by at least a good 1.5 inches at least.
This?
Maybe. Yeah, that's on the original game, that was way further up. So, but the problem was if that toy popped up, well then the upper left flipper was useless because it would completely block that shot. And I was like, I hated that. So I completely moved all that back. I had to remodel the ramp to accommodate that, and then I adjusted that whole upper area so that way everything flows way, way better. And then I'll give credit to Astro Nasty. He insisted that third bumper. Oh, I'll wait till you get going here. So
I didn't know I was starting it.
You got the 9-ball Skeletor multi-ball, and on this table, they don't spill out. He just fires them one after another really, really quickly on you. And just like the other multi-balls.
I'm down to 2 balls already. Oh my god!
See if he does her.
Wait,
So,
gimme. Okay.
So with Skeletor, hitting him does no good until you hit all the regular jackpots. So he'll just spit the ball back out. But if you hit all the jackpots on any multi-ball mode, not just this one, the target banks will then lower, and then you can hit the super jackpots into Skeletor to try to complete the mode.
Holy smokes. I'm way better than this, kids. Damn it. Whatever. If you miss, you just move on to something else.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Once you get when you first start the game, the 3 main shots are locked, so you can't access any modes. So you either have to hit the shot 2 or 3 times, depending on what you set in the table script for the difficulty settings, or if you hit the upper loop toggle inserts, those will unlock those shots instantly. Or if you, on the launch perk at the start of the ball, that can possibly unlock all the shots for you. There's multiple ways to do, or Mechanic Mystery can do it as well. There you go. Perfect timing. Now, the way I've done this is both the launch perk at the beginning of the ball and Mechanic Mystery, the options it will give you are completely adjusted depending on what modes you've cleared, what modes you have ready, how many balls you have, how many Orco shots you have, because the idea is I don't want it to waste on something you already have. So it will change up each time depending on how far... Oh, he saved her. So there you go. Mano used an Orco shot there. So the idea of what an Orco shot is you hold down the action button to activate an Orco shot, but you have to do it for at least half a second. Like if you tap the button, that does a toggle mode. For an Orco shot, you have to hold the button down for half a second, and then it'll activate it. And then what he'll do is he will always save the ball. So that's the main initial idea, is that if the ball's about to drain, you can use the Orco to try to save it.
But sometimes he takes so damn long with his stupid spell.
And that's the point, though. He will do 2 things. He'll save the ball, and then he'll try to direct it to a lit shot if one is available. But you don't know which one it'll be. If there is no lit shot, then he'll just pick a random various shot throughout the game, and then he'll fire the ball for you automatically. The thing is, though, as Manny just said, he has a bunch of different spells he has. So the length of time it takes for him to cast it,
that spell.
It's going to be a little bit different each time. So let's say, like right now, he could use one right now to try to get that lit shot. And depending on how much time is left in the mode, he may or may not have made it in time, right? So like this mode, for example, finished off. So there you go.
So so he'll do his spell, and he'll save you, but he's like blah 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 blah, and you're like just do the thing, blah 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 blah. Thanks.
And the reason why I did that was 1, for variety, because he says something different each time, and 2, because a lot of these modes have shots that change. You know, they like the jackpot or whatever you have to hit may change up on you while you're playing. Well, then he may try to do it at a lit shot, but then at the last second it may change on you, and then you don't actually get that shot. You know.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that you could time it if you want. Like if you have the ball under control on a flipper, you can use an Orco shot anytime you want, as long as the light is lit on the bottom left and you have some left. Yeah. Mano's got 10, so he's got a few.
I've got a few.
You know, but it doesn't guarantee it's going to go where you hoped it would go. You know, I was going to possibly originally have it where it was so unreliable that it would not make any shots and stuff like that. But I figured by having the mechanic of, well, the timing is going to be different each time, and it may not make it in time or whatever, that's close enough, and it won't infuriate people. All right. I think this is going to be a very popular mode among the male population.
It will. Tila. I had to save one Orco.
And this is the reason why. Because you are training with Teal like you did in the cartoon series. But then if you try to do a cheap shot from behind, well, she ain't putting up with your shit, boys. So that's when she turns around and screams, "Oh, no, you don't." And then you continue your training. Hopefully to the point where you finally won her over and you train. And I'll never forget when Manny was testing with your kids.
I thought she was naked.
He thought she was naked. I'm like, okay, I know she's a ginger Manny, but she's not that pale. Come on.
I couldn't tell.
Well, because it's literally taken a still from the cartoon. Like, that's not some goofy thing someone made up. It's actually from the cartoon. So even as kids, we thought that was hilarious because you'd see her jump in front of the screen and her ass is right in front of your face, you know. And I'm like, I've got to find a way to use that in the game somehow. So yeah. So
well, brilliant job.
And there you go. And then you complete it, and you're gonna get a collectible as a result. There you go.
I got a Tila! Hell yes. Terry, every time he says from Mattel, he reinvests me in the game again.
I know.
Now I'm like,
it's
5 and 2.
Reward.
What is 7? I can't do math. From Mattel, and I'm wasting my Orcos. Yeah, every time I would send you a.
Well, you got a lot of them though.
I know, but I would send you like a debug, and you'd be like, "Dude, you're not losing."
Oh yeah, yeah. When you were testing, yeah, I was like, dude, you got Orcos, you can use them, you know. But then it depends on when. It's one of those things that you got to get used to it at first, but once you know, it's great to save. Like, use it for saving your ball. That's the one. But if you have lots of them, and there's that one pain in the ass shot you can't make. Yeah. And it's not changing up on you, then that's a good time to use it. So he'll make the shot for you and maybe finish the mode for you, right? Or who knows what, right? And if you say you have kids, right? You know, then it's great for kids. Then they can have fun with that.
They can just do that. Yeah.
And you can adjust the difficulty to give yourself a lot of Orco shots at the beginning of the game if you have kids and you want to just have them goof around or play or whatever, that kind of thing. But now, one of the ones he hasn't been in yet because he's been playing on the main modes on the main playfield.
Oh, the Manny modes. Okay.
Yes, the best, my favorite part of the game is.
Let's get some Manny modes.
So right now he's got it highlighted on Manny modes on the He-Man kicker. So if you activate Manny modes, you now have 8 more modes you can play, and you can progressively go through them. Every mode on the game, once you complete it, you can't replay it. So
did you see that shot, Terry?
Yeah, it happens. Yeah, it's possible to do it that way. Yeah. And for example, like if you wanted to use an Orco shot right now, for example, you could, but he'll just do it. You could, but he'll choose a random shot because there's not a jackpot lit, right? You know, like he'll try to do that. So now you can see we've got 8 new modes that Mano can do, and they're all significantly different. Some are big modes, you know, like long progression modes. Some of them are like they're all pretty good sized modes. Some of them are timed. I think only one of them's timed, but yeah, like there's quite a bit to.
Terry, let me ask you something. Did you change the location of the Robot Knights for that one?
He comes random location each time.
Oh, because Yeah,
I know. I remember you saying, it was easier before.
This used to be a gimme. This used to be a gimme. It is.
And I'm like, no, it's a random location each time. So
it's now the hardest. Yeah, Joey, you're right. I want to try it. So Joey's right, but I can use. Can I use Orcos during this?
Yeah, you can. The only time you can't use an Orco is during multi-ball when you have more than one ball. But if you have only one ball on screen, you can use it. Or during the Orco's out of here mode. Those are the only 2 times you can't use it, unless the ball's like in a kicker or something like that. But during normal gameplay, you can use it on any mode, just not multi-ball or Orco's mode.
So the trick about this is you have to distract the robot first. He's distracted, then you can hit him.
Then you can smash him. There you go. Perfect.
But the second one is a little harder, I think. Oh, he's random. Shit. You gotta distract him. Oh crap. Okay, you got it.
So in this case, if you try hitting him right now, he'll just deflect the ball and it won't do anything. So in this case, for example, if Manny wanted to use an Orco shot, it would go on that lit shot for him because it's the only lit shot there is, and it's a jackpot lit shot.
And then I can hit him in the back.
Perfect. There you go.
See, if I hit him now, it's not going to work. So you guys distract him. This is a really tough backhand. I've done it before, but it's tough.
I have to. Yeah, it's tough. Now, see what that shot you just did before, that upper left loop and then upper right loop, on the older game, you can never do anything like that, ever. Because the bumper was in the way, the ramp was too far down, so the layout, despite looking very similar to the original, is still significantly modified. Like, it plays night and day. It plays like a different game altogether.
It's a totally different type of flying altogether.
So for this last robot, you still have to distract him, but then you have to get in the He-Man kicker. However, if you can get in that kicker, then you might be able to clear the mode without distracting him, but it's hard to do it. You're not supposed to, but,
Shit, he's going to turn back around.
No, that's okay. No, that's okay. If you do the distraction multiple times, it'll just reset it from the beginning again. So if you did the distraction over and over and over again, it's like starting it from the beginning, and then it won't time out. It'll start over again.
Oh, okay.
So there you go.
Guys, I might be making this kind of look easy, but I've played this probably hundreds of times now. So don't. All right, we're gonna go with Skeletor, lock. Oh, that was fast.
Oh, your favorite.
Ah.
Joey's favorite too. So on this wonderful mode, the sorceress's powers are randomly reversing, which messes up your flippers and reverses them. Now, the problem is it will randomly change back and forth, and if you have the flipper held, when it changes on you, then it will reverse the flipper back on you to the regular controls that you had. So even though you think you're safe, it's one of those things where it's like, when her powers mess up and it changes again, it's like, crap. But see, there you go. Manny's like, screw this mode. I'm going to use my Orco shot.
I really did say screw this mode.
But that's why I like that function, because it's like kind of like the Indiana Jones game on Future Pinball, where you could use the instant shots, not quite the same, but something like that, where it's like, this one shot is my bane, and I cannot get this one shot. Screw it. I have this extra feature I can use. I may not be able to use it later on, but I'll risk it. You know what I mean? And that's a good example. Oh, you actually made it far enough. I was gonna say, normally you have to make the upper left loop for Mechanic Mystery, but you went just far enough for it to come back down and do that. Oh, there you go. So now you got Castle Multiball. So basically, you just, like any other multi-ball, but you got, a wonderful dance show going on here. So all the characters are like grooving down and...
Okay. It's always that one shot that fucks me up. Get it. No!
So you got He-Man, Orco, Mechanic, Skeletor, the Snake.
All right.
Man-at-Arms, they're all getting down.
Wow. That save, though. What? That save was crazy.
There you go. So now he's got all the jackpots. So now if he goes down to one ball, it still continues from this point on to phase 2. So see? So now if he wanted, he could use an Orco shot to complete the mode. If he wanted to. There you go. Or he'll try to, at least. Sometimes it bounces off. But there you go.
I had to do it that time because that was too close, man.
Yeah.
How many Orcos? I gotta place that.
There you go.
How many Orcos do I have? 3.
So on a more technical talk here, one of the things I'm very proud of on this table, and it's harder to see it from the cabinet view, but is with the big difference between Visual Pinball and Future Pinball is Visual Pinball doesn't have any kind of dynamic lighting. It's basically all textures, to keep it as simple as I can describe it. Whereas Future Pinball has had, with BAM, really good dynamic lighting. There is a limit to how many you can have, but that's like any other typical video game that uses dynamic lighting. On this table, all the lights are dynamic except for the inserts. However, for the first time ever on a Future Pinball table, and something I'm really proud of, is I basically did pre-baked ray traced lighting and shadows on this game. So similar to what you see on a lot of Visual Pinball Blender toolkit tables, whether they're VPW or some other guys who do that, it's a similar idea. Only I had to do it the hard way, the manual way. Basically, like Flupper used to do in the old days with Toten, where he would do it manually himself and then get everything imported. The difference here is I had to like think about how it's going to work with dynamic lighting. That's completely different than what Visual Pinball does, because now you have dynamic lights, you have dynamic raycast shadows, and all that other stuff. It's not just textures. So I have to manage all the lighting and everything in code to make sure, you know, I don't have too many lights turned on at the wrong time that are dynamic, because you can only have 8 total max. So the combination of that and the ray traced pre-baked lighting for the whole table, which you can't see it as much in cabinet view, but like the sidewalls for the neon lights and everything else, it's a night and day difference compared to not having it and having it. And VR, all I can say is, man, if you see this table in VR, like there's
I will.
Not to toot my own horn, but fuck it, I am. I'm going to toot my own horn. There's nothing that looks quite like this in VR. That's all I'm going to say. The combination of dynamic lighting and pre-baked lighting and these detailed new models and the animation and the VR room that I built for this game, which is massive.
Orco!
It just looks awesome, is all I'm trying to say. I'm really proud. Like what you're seeing right now, that neon lighting, you know, like the way all that looks was not possible without the combination of dynamic lighting and pre-baked ray traced lighting as well. And I'm really proud of getting that to work, because it's never been done at Future Pinball, and you know, and it's the only table that I know of that's really done that. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm really proud of how that came out. So man, had a great game, although not the highest score. So you must have played a damn good game before, because you didn't get the first one. So the game is over, and you get our wonderful PSA. I'll let them speak. Oh, the Star Child. It's sad that I remember that. And there you go. And now the track mode will show his last score, and then it'll show whatever collections he got on his last game.
12 is not my best game. 12 is not my best game. Because sometimes, so what happens is I'll get distracted, right? I'll be like, I just want to collect vehicles and play sets and figures. And then I'll go into a mode or something, and I'll go, ooh, look at this shiny thing over here. And I'll start doing something else and forget about my figures and my vehicles and my play sets. So I have trouble.
So as far as that PSA, that's not a mandatory feature. You guys can turn that off in the table script if you don't want it, so that it never comes up. Mm-hmm. Now I'm gonna have to double check something. Normally, you should have been prompted for PowerPoints or Power Perks, and I'm not sure why.
You were blah blah.
Oh, it did. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, wait, did I miss something here? Okay, so it did prompt. It did prompt you. Okay. Because normally at the end of the game, it'll give you 2 choices. It'll give you an option. If you have any collectibles, toys that you got from the game, you will have a choice of getting a Power Points reward, which will basically give you a certain amount for every action figure, vehicle, and that, a high point rewards. Or you can choose to trade what collectibles you have for a Power
For
perk,
some perk,
if there's any available, depending on what you already have or not. Now, the whole point of what a Power Perk is, and the Power Perks are the inserts at the very bottom, like under the drain/flipper area there.
I'll do the whiteboard again. And so
there's 6 of them. So the idea is that, let's say you had a pretty good game like Manu did, and you're like, you know what, I want to get a Power Perk. He trades for that Power Perk, and then he gets to keep that Power Perk. He can use it on any follow-up game. It doesn't have to be like we've had on other Future Pinball games where you have to do on the follow-up game and it automatically gets applied. It doesn't work that way. This gets saved to the FP RAM file. It's kind of like the equivalent of your high scores, the battery backup that you would have on a real pin. So the idea is
Yeah.
if you exit Future Pinball, well then it's still saved for you. So you could play a
Nice.
game a day later, 2 days later. Doesn't have to be the follow-up game. It could be 5 games from now. And then while you're playing in the middle of a game, if you want to use that power perk, you would push the start button in the middle of the game, and then Orco will trap the ball magically, kind of like he does with his Orco shots.
Oh wow.
And then, and then you get to toggle through the menu of what power perks you have, which any power perk will give you either like extra Orco shots, extra balls, higher bonus points. It'll make some modes ready for you. Maybe make a mystery. They're all different. So
They're all a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
That's the whole point of it being a power perk. Now, you may think, well, isn't that kind of cheating? Well, no. If the whole point is to get the highest score ever, what
You
this
gotta
does
play
is
good.
you got to
To
play
get
good
rewarded.
to
Yeah,
get
to play
rewarded.
better.
The
Yeah.
reward can then help you to play even better and
Yeah.
get further to get even better perks, and
Yeah.
then you can continue that until you eventually get to the point where you may complete the game. And even if you completed the game, if you didn't have every perk, well then you could still get a higher score
There's another goal, yeah.
if you had every perk. You know, because if you got all 6 of them, well, you can use all 6 of them in one game if you want. Which would be a hell of a lot of points. And then at the end of a game, if you complete it, every ball you have, every Orco shot you have, that's extra points you get added to your final score. So there's still incentive to get those if you want to add to an even bigger score. That's not easy to get. So you have to play a minimum of 6 really good games to get those perks if you want to get the really big benefits from that. But if you don't want to use them, you don't have to, and you can use it at any time during the game as long as it's not like a multi-ball or something like that.
In short, power perks are perks.
Yeah, they're big perks.
So Terry, what I did was, I'm just messing with you, Terry. So what I did was I started a 3-player game because we only got enough time for maybe a little.
Yep.
And I'm not gonna play my normal game because I'm strategizing and all that stuff. But I'll flip around a little bit. I'm gonna do like an all female battle. Okay. So we're choosing. Are there any females in the
There's one in each
faction?
one. Yeah.
There's one in each
Yep.
one. Okay.
Actually, the third faction has, I think, the most actually.
All right. So we got
So
Tila right now.
So as an example right there, he unlocked the castle ramp because all the shots started off locked, so the He-Man kicker is locked. But when he hit that upper left loop, that instantly unlocks the castle ramp, so now he can start doing
Now I can start castle. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna let that drain. That's cool. I didn't actually know that. So that's player 1, right? Okay, I'm Tila. Okay, bye. Okay,
So
I'm gonna
now-
choose from
but
one
now
of
the
the
second
2
player-
that's left. Yeah.
Yeah, because the idea is that each player can only be one faction. So player 1 gets to choose all 3 from any of the 3. Player 2 gets to choose from the last 2 remaining 2, and then player 3 gets whatever's left. So if you're playing a 3-player, then draw straws, bottle beer caps. I don't know how you guys do it, but whatever you do, maybe punch each other in the face. I don't know.
I'm so glad that Emmanuel Lewis continues to work. Webster is here.
Yeah.
Cobra Khan.
Any of us who watched this show back in the day will know Webster. So
Scare Glow. Clawful. My favorite is Too Bad. Where are they? Are they
Oh yeah. He's in there. Yeah. I know. That's what I loved about this series. Like, the names of the characters are ridiculous and cheesy. So that's why with the Manny modes, I kind of tried to do that
Bring
same
'em in.
thing.
Yeah.
With con artist or just things like that, or Skeletor is stunning. They're plays on what's actually going on in the game, right? But
So I don't know if you guys noticed, but there are a lot of elements on the playfield now that changed for Evil Lyn. It changes for this faction.
And that's so your auto launcher changes, the actual art changes, the bonus multipliers change.
The ball changes, the plunger changes.
The hatch for the bumper that pops up changes, and that's one thing you haven't seen yet. You have to do a Manny mode to be able to see it, but you haven't seen the bumper head toy yet, which basically on some of the modes you'll have a villain appear through a portal where the third bumper normally pops up, and then a brand new toy, I call it the bumper head. It basically rotates on its own, but then if you hit its stand-up targets, you'll make it rotate, and then it's got a drop target, and then you gotta go hit the ball inside of it.
I did it
depending
once,
on what the mode is.
Yeah, it's really super cool. I did it once. I got the hang of it immediately. I was like, oh, I have to turn it and then shoot into it.
Yeah,
that was sick, dude.
Yeah, that's a really neat new toy. I was really happy I got that to work, and that's a good example of where that was something. The best way to describe it is actually easy to do on Future Pinball because of BAM's what I call it's the mini playfield tool. It's extremely very powerful tool that you can use. You can build an assembly of anything. It could be in a small playfield, a big playfield. It could be a target, anything you want, and then you can capture that and then move it anywhere you want in the playfield. You can have it rotate. You can have it react events. You can have it animate, whatever you want, and you can use it for so many things. And the physics, lighting, anything that's within that will automatically work. You don't have to do any tricks or workarounds or anything. And that's just a small example of what that tool can do, but I use it for a lot of things on a lot of the tables and mods that I do. Like it's very, very powerful and handy. It's my favorite tool to use by far. I absolutely love it.
Got it. And now I gotta shoot She-Ra. I gotta shoot Skeletor, and I'm done.
There you go.
I started that by mistake, actually.
Well, that just happens if you hit the slings enough times.
The most powerful woman in the universe.
There you go.
All right, I want to get a Manny mode on this character, which is ready. Remember, guys, that button is really important.
Yeah, your action slash bumper, launch button, however you want to do it. It's used for 3 functions. Get to know it. It's very handy. Well, actually, use the launch ball, use it to toggle modes, and you can use it for an Orco shot.
How many likes until this game is released? And which mode am I looking for? Is it with the new mech?
Oh well, Scareglow will do it. Absolutely, yeah. That's actually a great mode.
Okay, this guy right here. Escape from Subterranean. So let's see if I can do this. Now here it is. This is tricky.
Featuring the late Tony Todd. Rest in peace, Tony. So in this mode, if you hit it inside the center of that, you have to hit the drop target first, and then you get inside, then he'll spew your ball out and have a cool effect that goes on. However, if you hit that upper left loop,
oops,
it will come down into that bumper head as well. And the bumper head knows the ball's coming, so it'll rotate to try to catch the ball. So sometimes you want that, sometimes you don't. Depends on the progression or the mode you're in, right?
I can't hit this thing to save my life.
Well, that's why if it's easier, you can do the upper left loop, and then that will get it in there as well.
It will?
Yeah, because what will happen is it'll rotate to catch the ball for you automatically because it knows the ball's coming because it's like a sneak attack, if you will.
Wait.
The upper left loop. Yep, or the Quora shot, if you will.
The Quora shot. I like that. See, I speak pinball. I don't know now. Okay,
it's not a 1-to-1 Tron Legacy. It's sort of like a rehashed, but it's the upper third is pretty much ideally the same.
This isn't timed, is it?
No. No, the only Manny mode that's timed is Orco. All the others are none of them are timed. There you go. See, so he catches it, and now he's gonna spew it at.
Oh! All right, we saw it.
You're like, hey, that looks cool. Oh shit!
I've never done that before. It just fucking blew my mind.
Yeah, that mode is really cool because when you progress through it, then it'll change the color of the entire table to be like a glow-in-the-dark mode.
I can't wait to look at this in VR.
Yeah,
all right,
that's
Faction 3. This is all you're going to get, kids. We're going to be done after I drain on Ball 1 on Faction, the Evil Horde. So let's find somebody. Hordak, of course. Grizzlor. I need to put a new antenna on my television because my reception is bad. Okay. You're Leech. Hey, what's up? Shadow Weaver's got boobs. Katra. Shadow Weaver and Katra are ladies. So I think, and Scorpia. I don't know how they really identify, but I'm an 80s
Scorpia
guy.
identifies as a scorpion.
I'm sorry,
Octavia
everyone.
identifies as an octopus.
Yes. There you are, Octavia. Okay, let's go with. I'm going with Shadow Weaver. Let's go. And it's cool because you. Terry's the king of the friggin' light show too because it goes gong gong go.
Oh, you mean for the DOF? You mean, or yeah?
Yeah, for the DOF, yeah.
Yeah, because I love the time the music, like the cues and all that. So I like to try to time it with that if I can.
If you guys didn't know, remember Terry's the one that did the DOF on Batman 66. So that's why it goes Batman.
Well, this is my cabinet was out of commission for over a year because of the health reasons I had, where I had a stroke a couple years ago and then heart surgery and all that. So I hadn't had it up and running for a long time, So I had to dust it all off and get rid of cobwebs when I had to add DOF to this thing. I'm like, geez, it's been a long time.
Well, we are super happy you're back in good health and knocking out stuff like this, and this is incredible, Terry. This is. Oh wait! I have Castle ready. I almost switched away from it. This is incredible, dude. This is absolutely incredible, and I'm not even joking. I fell in love with this thing. It doesn't matter to me that it's Future Pinball, Virtual Pinball. To me, this is just a fun game to shoot, and I was so happy that he did it. If you don't have your Future Pinball set up, Terry made it super easy for you guys now. You just read the docs and follow the instructions. If an idiot like me can get this thing running. Oh, and one other feature that I really love, for those who are afraid that their machine won't be able to handle it, I have an option. There's an option in here for turning off raycasting when a multiball happens. Right now, all the ray special shit is gone because I need the performance because my machine won't handle all that. And it's terrific, Terry. It's terrific.
Well, especially when you're playing 4K 120 hertz or higher, like you can, right? So, because when I thought about that, I was like, well, because when you get into Skeletor's multi-ball, that's 9, and then you combine 9 balls with raycast shadows, and then every light in the play field is potentially casting a shadow. It can add up if your machine is going to struggle with that. So that's why I was like, add the option. You can disable it only for the multi-balls, and then for most people, that'll do just fine,
Yeah, highly recommend. Go ahead.
Because even on my cabinet, which is an older PC right now, that I had to do that as well on my cabinet. So
right,
and that was only at 60 hertz because it's an old PC. My normal PC that I make this on and test on and play on VR, I play that in 4K, 144 FPS maxed out, and it looks gorgeous. But my cabinet, it's a pretty old PC. There you go.
I highly suggest when you download this, go into the script and look at all the settings that you are.
There's a lot.
You're supposed to set. Tailor it to your machine because it'll run. Terry, I'm gonna say thank you right now while I'm playing this multi-ball. Guys, don't bug him. It'll be done when it's done.
Soon, guys. Soon. I'll make it very clear. And there is going to be a new Manu already has it, but there's a new update to BAM that's required for this. So I'll have a new update with my Future Pinball BAM Essentials zip file. As he said, it is not hard, guys. Oh my God! With all due respect, if you all can friggin' learn rocket science to get Visual Pinball, B2S, Flex DMD, PinMain, 32-bit, 64-bit, DOF, colored DMDs and all that shit running. I'm sorry, extracting a zip file, running a couple batch files is beyond you. No, it's not. It's fucking easy, okay? For fuck's sake.
I'm serious,
and I got,
bro.
And I got with
this working.
instructions
Yeah.
step by step to make it even easier for you, you
Yeah,
know. And
yeah.
and yes, video. I got videos as well, but videos go out of date. It's hard to keep up with that. So read the updated install guide. It's not because it's complex. It's because I'm saving you from bugging everyone in every single Discord website and group for the basic stuff that is right there in front of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a different program. You know what I mean? So there are some differences compared to visual pinball, but it's not hard to get set up. If you have problems, it's usually Windows related problems, and that's something you'll get.
Okay, Terry, easy. Read every single thing. Don't assume you have something. Don't skip a step. I did that every time. And Terry said,
and you
step 4.
You also need the newest pup as well. That I forgot, because this table's using pup 1.5. So that's newer, depending on when you last updated pup, because it's using new pup features on there, like like a lot of the stuff that's on there, like when you see Ram Man flying up and all that, or the gradient tech, like that's all new stuff for pup 1.5. So yeah, like that. You know what I mean? So if your thing looks weird or messed up, or shadows aren't showing up, or some of the text isn't showing up correctly or whatever, then that's because you don't have the newest version of pup. So make sure you get that updated.
Save.
It depends on when and where, but yeah, and you can change that on table options as well. For every multi-ball, and for the main mode, you can change it if you want for the difficulty.
It ships as a 5-ball game. I set it to 3 because I'm a maniac. Terry, once again, thank you, bro. I appreciate you letting me strong arm you into doing this stream, guys. This stream is my last Tuesday stream for the rest of the year, so I'm gonna say have a happy holiday. I do have one stream on Thursday and one final stream. Christmas movie. Fliptronic will be granting us an edited version of a movie for Christmas.
Oh no! I can only imagine.
Amazing! It's gonna be amazing. So Terry, once again, thank you for everything you do.
Thanks you, man.
I know everybody is waiting for this.
Super happy to finally be at the finish line, because I get it, guys. I show a lot of shit that I'm working on, and it seems to take forever, and it does. But sometimes I get distracted with a new project, and the other one doesn't get finished. Well, that's why with this one, I just wanted to keep going, and unfortunately, I get lots of new ideas, which makes it take longer. But this one's done. That's the hardest part of this project. I had to stop myself from adding new shit, because I have at least 5 more modes I could easily add to this thing. But it's already so freaking huge, and I had to stop somewhere. And I was like, okay, I'm happy. It's complete in every way I could be happy about, and boom. People can play this forever. There's just so much to do on it. So I'm super happy about that.
All right. Go back to work, Terry. We'll see you guys. Bye.
Bits. Follows. Subs. Gifts. Raids. Chats. Thanks. Mystery. Pinball. Theater.